This is Maisha Nordics. Today we are in Raitasuo neighborhood and I've come to talk to Roberto. Roberto has lived in this neighborhood for a while and I've lived in Helsinki for over 10 years now. But this is the first time I'm coming into Raitasuo, so
You're here.
yeah, so this is also a very, very beautiful neighborhood. Very beautiful neighborhood.
Yeah, so
Welcome to Maisha Nordics.
thank you for having me.
Stories as we are. And you just came from Spain.
Yeah, now I came right from Barcelona.
Yes.
Yeah. we are missing the plastic.
Oh yeah, we're
Or
supposed to
or
have
the
the...
mask. Wait, but yeah, it's difficult to know what to do. I should be quarantined, but well, it's my neighborhood, no? It's kind of
You are quarantined in your whole neighborhood. What is coming back into Finland right now and with the coronavirus in Spain more serious, as I would say? What is your state of mind?
Mhm.
What is your state of mind?
Well, yeah, there in Catalonia we all have to wear masks.
Yeah.
Yeah, everywhere in public spaces, in the street. Yeah, even if you are in the park, in the mountain even. Well, but I was a couple of days in the mountains, and there you didn't see much masks, but you
Okay.
don't come across too many people.
But do the authorities enforce wearing masks? For example, if you're working in the
it's
city.
mandatory.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Since a couple of weeks, yeah. So it started a bit before I went there. I just stayed 8-9 days. And yeah, going there it was interesting that here in the Helsinki airport you don't have to wear masks,
Yeah.
which I find a bit weird also because you have people coming from abroad, and even the fact that there are many people that maybe they start enforcing this mask usage.
I think it's going to start anyway.
It's gonna start little by little.
Yeah. So, who is Roberto? Tell us about yourself.
Well, yeah, I'm Roberto Blanco Raitasuo from Barcelona,
Yes.
Spain, Catalonia.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
complicated
Yes.
thing. I come from a Spanish-Finnish speaking family.
Yes.
My dad is Spanish, not from Catalonia, but from elsewhere, and from Galicia. And my mom is Finnish from this neighborhood, from Helsinki.
Your mom is from this neighborhood.
My mom is from this neighborhood.
Okay.
She has a part of a quite strong Finnish identity, a strong Raitasuo
Identity. What exactly is a Raitasuo identity?
Well, they started building more in this island in the 50s, and
Okay.
her family moved here around that time. They lived in a couple of places in the north of the island. Nowadays, this island has 25,000 people. It's one of the neighborhoods of Helsinki, known for having proud people to be from the neighborhood. Not
Right.
my case. I just ended living here.
All right.
Yeah, because my mom has this two-room apartment here.
Yeah.
But this Raitasuo identity, yeah. So many people who live here have come back to live here. Then it's a bit of a middle upper class. Yeah, with
yeah.
this proud wealthy or middle upper class
Yes.
people. There are quite many Swedish-speaking people, so
Yes.
it's also this bilingual.
That's what I
island
noticed when I
neighborhood.
came, because I thought that it was a bit weird that the metro, or
Yeah.
rather the parking, was translated in Swedish as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Roberto, you are half Finnish and half Spanish. Where have you lived mostly, and what do you feel like you identify with most?
Yeah, so I grew up in Spain and I lived there for 21 years more or less.
Okay.
I studied there my bachelor, so yeah, I lived there my childhood and first years of adulthood. I think Spain, or Barcelona, Catalonia, as you want to call it, because it's all of them.
Yes.
Shaped more maybe my character and personality.
Yes.
But I spend summers here, and parents also they have a strong influence. So my Finnish mom also had a strong influence. We talked Spanish and Finnish at home. Yeah, and since a young age, I also felt Finnish. Our mom also always kept talking us Finnish, even if we are two kids.
Yes.
We talked sometimes in Spanish, but
Yes.
More and more Finnish. Our Finnish would get better during summers, and it would rust a bit in the winters.
In the winters when you're in
year.
Spain. Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. And so your parents are now back in Spain and you're living here now.
Well, this is a bit of an exceptional year now with the corona. So
Yeah.
actually they would be here usually at this time of the year, but this year they may stay longer
Yes.
till the autumn, or they may stay the whole year because the
traveling is a
lockdown
little
was a bit
yes.
tough last spring
Yes.
in Spain,
Yes.
not being allowed even to have a walk. So
That was horrible. I mean, of course, we had a partial lockdown in Finland. There's a time when
yeah, it,
Helsinki was closed to the rest of Finland.
some events.
Yeah, but we had the opportunity to go out and run. So I don't think that we really know what the lockdown means here, because in Spain it was 100% lockdown.
Yeah. You could go to the shop, and it created weird situations, like you were allowed to walk your dog, so people would rent their neighbors or friends' dog, for example. But yeah, my mom would stay like 3 months indoors. At least we had a terrace. So. But,
did she seem different to you when you went to see her? I mean, was she?
Well, it was hard for them.
Yes.
These months there, a bit between four walls. Yeah.
But now people get out. I mean,
now they go out.
You just have to have a mask.
The masks.
Yeah.
And it's different. Like there are a bit of a spike in cases again, but in a different trend than before. I think this masks and some restrictions will soften it a bit.
Yeah. Great. What about your career? I mean, I know that earlier you worked with immigration services, and
in Finland, yeah.
And currently.
So now it's 7 years that I've been in, 7.5 years that I've been in Finland.
Yes.
Like stationary, stable.
Yes.
Before that, I moved from Spain actually 11 years ago.
Okay.
I studied there in journalism, communication science.
Yes.
And then I did an exchange in Belgium.
Yes.
In a French-speaking university in Liège.
Okay.
In the east of the country, and from there I moved to Poland. Like I was looking for jobs. I was thinking to move to Finland for some time, maybe a year. Back then. But I applied for jobs a bit here and there around Europe, and I also had a Polish girlfriend back then.
Okay. So it
I
only made sense.
Moving there,
yes.
moving there, and I lived in two different Polish cities, in the south, Katowice, and then in the capital, in Warsaw.
Okay.
I also then, after the first year working, I studied international relations for a couple of years. And last semester I spent in Finland on exchange. Like I was a visiting student.
Yes.
In the University of Helsinki, which was a nice time. So when I came, I had this idea of, this is the first time I'm living in Finland. I will meet many Finnish people, and I will improve my Finnish.
Yes.
Because I knew Finnish, I would talk it at home with a few Finnish friends and relatives, but I wouldn't use it so often. I had used it a bit at work in Poland as well. I had taught some Finnish also. But then it ended being a bit difficult to meet Finnish people and become their friends, close friends. But I became good friends with other exchange students from around Europe.
How would you characterize that? Because you said that you used to spend most of your summers here.
Yeah.
And then finally, when you moved here to live permanently, it was difficult to make friends with the locals.
Yeah.
It's quite a paradox, since you are half Finnish.
Yeah. Maybe it's also a bit difficult for Finns to become close friends with other Finns. But I think it's also a thing not only because of the way of Finns, how they are, maybe a bit more close or more difficult to become close friends with, but also when you're exchange student, the other students, they have been there studying at university for long. They have made their friends the first and second years, and they don't need so much.
One thing I discovered, or rather I've heard about, is that friends, like in Finland, people start being friends from daycare. And this friendship goes all the way to adulthood. So you have these circles that cannot get new people in.
People have friends from childhood.
Yeah, from daycare. Yeah. So apart from the fact that it is difficult, because when and I would say that it's more difficult to make friends with locals, with Finnish people in the capital city. Because when I was living in the small city in Salo, I was able to make friends over a short period of time. But when I moved to Helsinki, it became a bit more difficult. And I think also the option is that there are so many foreigners here as well. And maybe it's only that natural that you feel more connected to other foreigners.
Yeah. People here are busy with their things. And maybe also the fact that there in Salo, did you meet more people like in your studies?
Not really, because my study was international, so I already had international people in the class. But in the city itself, like if you go out there, I mean, I think it's also a small town. They're not so used to foreigners, so they're more curious.
They're more curious.
So in that sense,
special anymore to be outside.
Exactly. But when you come to the city, it's so cosmo and people are already used to foreign-looking people. So it's maybe a bit. It's because you'd think my theory was that when I come to the city, not even friendship, just courtesy. So, for example, in a small city like Salo, if you walked into a bus, somebody would say hello.
Great, it's fair.
Here, everybody's busy, and then the city life is so. Everybody's just fixed on what they're doing.
City thing, happens a bit.
I think so.
In Nairobi, how is it? People greet?
Well, I would say that with the countryside, of course, it's also it would be more or less the same in a different kind of way. In a different kind of way, because I mean, in Nairobi, if you ask somebody for directions, they'll probably be even kind enough to walk you to where you're going, which probably never happen. Sometimes it would, sometimes it wouldn't.
Here my experience is that with some neighbors greet and some don't. They are more silent. And at workplaces, like when you have hundreds of works and you don't actually know the people, some greet and some no. I think
I had a very interesting experience in Salo when I think it was my second neighborhood, and there was this guy. He wouldn't say hello in the winter at all. I mean, I would meet him in the lift, and the head would be down. And then all of a sudden in the spring, when the sun came up,
the big change.
He would start saying hello when he was from the balcony, when he saw me walking up the road, walking up the street to the house.
So extreme.
So it was two different extremes, and of course I would be confused, like what's going on, But then over time you get used to that. That's how it happens, like that. Sometimes it happens like that.
Change.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about what you do.
So, after I finished my studies, after this one semester in Finland, I've done some internships. I worked a bit as an internship in the Spanish embassy, then I worked in the Colombian embassy, and that's brought me a bit in this direction of visas, residence permits. So I ended doing my civil service in the Finnish immigration service.
Yes.
And the first year I was the assistant of the head of the Finnish immigration service.
Yes.
That was an interesting experience. And then I was with the actual residence permits in the immigration unit. Doing only favorable decisions because I was assistant inspector.
Okay. There's, if you can talk about this, there's been a lot of criticism about how the Finnish Immigration Service was making its decision, especially in the height of immigrants coming into Finland, if you remember 2015, 2016. And after that, they tightened their grip on granting visas and granting permits. And that brought a lot of negative light on the Immigration Service. And I'm guessing you were there at that time.
Yeah, I've been there all these years. Yeah.
What is it?
I'm not there anymore.
Yeah, but what is
a couple of years
because
since
there is always
I was then there.
Yeah, there is always this what we read on the news and what actually happens.
Yeah.
In these departments. So what was the reality?
Well, most of the news were about the decisions on asylum
seekers
decisions.
Yeah.
Asylum applications. So yeah, Finland got around 32,000 people arriving in the end of 2015,
yes.
And then some less in 2016. Quite a few less.
Yes.
And since actually it's been lower, the levels have been lower than the years before.
Yeah.
So with the parliament majorities that there were, like politicians decided to restrict the right to asylum in Finland.
Yes.
So they lowered it to sort of the minimum European level. So they took out the so-called right to humanitarian protection,
yes,
which was a way to get a residence permit, so sort of asylum protection, based on lower requirements that more people could access to. So that's on itself, already like makes it more difficult to get a favorable asylum decision. And the asylum department, or the Finnish Immigration Service, to which it belongs, it had to hire lots of people, some 500 people. Many would stay there for around 1 or 2 years. And these people had to learn to like interpret and process these applications in a short time. I guess they had good training, but in a tight schedule, many new people, most of them were not able to stay because the amounts of applicants had gone so down. But some of the decisions were considered wrong by the courts of justice,
yes,
and some people simply left the country without appealing. So we don't know if they had.
Yeah, I think that most of the and it did not really affect it did not only affect the asylum seekers, because now the student visas were delayed for like a year. We have a couple of applicants from my country who did not even get. I mean, the schools accepted them. They applied for visas. They did not get any response.
Not even
at all. Not even not even a negative. Not like it.
Delay.
So there was during that period of time. I mean, I don't know now because I don't hear a lot about it in the news anymore. But and of course you're not there anymore. But
so this was like last year, no? Before the corona, or
I think maybe we are talking about two years ago or something like that.
I don't know how common was this, but or what was behind these situations, but it's quite uncommon for a application of a student residence permit to take longer than 3 months.
Yeah, they were delayed for 1 year. I had a couple of cases where people just never the embassy never got back to anyone.
Yeah.
So now that we are back in this is your backyard.
We have to change.
We have to change locations because we ran out of battery.
These things happen.
It is what it is. We talked for too long and the conversations were nice, and we just discovered that we don't have battery anymore. But I mean, you know, as you can see, the coronavirus has affected everyone in one way or another, and I think work as we know it is going to change a lot. Some people are not going to go back to the offices anymore. I know that you've been laid off, or rather...
Yeah, I had to start working
Yes.
in the weeks when this corona started a bit stronger in Europe. So I had to move to Ethiopia to work in the Finnish embassy. But then I had these days when I was thinking, do I advance my flight or don't I go at all? And then the embassy actually told me, hold on, don't come now, we are closing the embassy. And then it's been a bit of uncertain months, and seems that probably now in the coming weeks I will move to Ethiopia. Hopefully, I'm looking forward. Even with all the challenges, Corona is one, but security concerns. Yeah, I'm moving probably alone. Actually, my girlfriend, who is Ethiopian, she's probably staying here because she likes her work and wants to
that's
develop in her career.
That's an interesting irony.
Yeah, but let's see, maybe she will move at some point.
Oh well, I mean,
or I will.
I think that despite the Corona crisis, I still have the hope that the world is a global village, and that distances.
It's easy.
It's not like before. I mean, there's the physical distance, which is obvious, of course, that you're living in another continent that should be here. But in terms of communication, there is no really big difference. Yeah. But
I would like to say so, but there are some very strong internet cuts in Ethiopia sometimes. So sometimes it's like the next room, like very easy to communicate. Sometimes
and then 1 minute.
It's difficult.
I think that you'll only get to know when you actually live there and you have to communicate over a lot of time, and I think that will dictate the decisions that you make, if it's really working long distance or not. Yeah. Being half Finn and being half Spanish and living now here, you see things through a different set of eyes. What are the things that infuriate you here, makes you just want to get out of your skin, and what are the things that make you happy to be in this divide?
Yeah, every Finn is different. Of course, there are stereotypes and there are some tendencies, but maybe what is sad is that it's relatively common that the concept of Finnishness is quite narrow.
Yes.
Finland is, after all, quite a homogeneous country.
Yes.
Every time there are more people from elsewhere, and also this concept of who is an immigrant is very relative. Like, are you an immigrant after 10 or 30 years, or are you a foreigner, or what's Finnish now? Like there's my personal perception or how I see it affecting me, but then about also other people. Does it depend on the looks? I mean, in Finland, where Finland has been becoming more Finnish for the last century, or centuries.
Yes.
And now it's I don't want to say it's becoming less Finnish, but it's becoming more diverse.
Yes.
More languages, more cultures, more religions,
more people.
People with more different experiences
and backgrounds. Yeah. Roberto, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I wish you the best. As you wait to.
Hopefully, I don't want to say I want to leave Finland. I am very happy here.
Yes.
But now I'm looking forward to this new experience.
Of course. And I think that believe me, I think once you get there, Africa is beautiful, and I think that your experience there will be if when we talk again, hopefully we will, and when we talk again after you come back from there, we'll be having very different conversation.
Yeah. We have a new perspective.
Exactly.
To share.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care, and bring us some injera.
Yeah. You can also try some here in Helsinki.
I have. There was a restaurant in Toilo. There was a restaurant in Toilo. But they closed it up.
They closed temporarily, maybe they're in the
Yeah.
home, but there's also one in Surname, and then the main Ethiopian restaurant currently is in Vallela, in the crossroad there.
Yes, I know the one in Vallela. Yeah. But
Addis.
Yes, Addis. Yes.
It's
yes.
new.
Yes. Mama Queen Sheba, the one in Tolo was Queen Sheba or something.
Yeah.
I was there a couple of times, and of course I in Nairobi every Sunday was Jera Day. In Jera with tips, the whole stew was very nice. We used to do that every Sunday. Yeah, because my neighborhood where I lived and Eritreans. Yeah, so. So you're in good company. You're enjoying exquisite cuisine.
It's nice.
And when you go to Addis, you're going to even have the original version of it.
Every day.
Maybe around maybe after 3 months you'll be asking for Ruiz Lepa. You never know.
But it is nice.
Yeah.